Rain pattered against the window, a somber melody to the tense silence that filled the grand living room. Vine sat on the edge of the velvet sofa, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. Across from her, Taehyung leaned against the dark mahogany bar, a glass of wine in his hand, his gaze intense and unreadable. Her thoughts were a tangled wave, centering on Taehyung, the man she had married, the man she believed had bound her to him out of vengeance. Taehyung, with his enigmatic smile and eyes that seemed to hold the depth of ocean, was mystery she couldn't unravel. He was the head of a sprawling mafia empire, a man whose name whispered fear into the hearts of bravest souls. Yet, to he was a husband who had never raised his voice, whose touch was unexpectedly gentle, whose presence was a strange comfort she couldn't explain. As the clock chimed, marking the late hour, Vine's heart ached with the weight of unshed tears. She had entered this marriage bracing for a storm, for a war of hearts, where love was the enemy and trust was a landmine. But Taehyung, with his unexpected, quiet ways and act of kindness, had started to erode the walls she had built around her. Why would a man like him, powerful and feared, choose her as a pawn in his game of revenge? What had she done to become the target of such a calculated move? These questions haunted her, even as her heart whispered a dangerous hope that maybe, just maybe, the love she saw flickering in his gaze was real. You think I don't know? The whispers, the looks, you believe I married you out of spite? His thick voice broke her trance and she looked at him. Can you blame me? The way it's not like we started on a bed of roses, Taehyung. A bed of roses. No, we started in a war zone, he said while chuckling softly. Exactly. And now, every time you leave at night, every secretive call, it's like I am back there, wondering if you are plotting my downfall. Taehyung set his glass down with a soft click, his footsteps echoing as he approached her. Vian, look at me. She hesitated, then lifted her eyes to meet his. There was a softness there she hadn't expected. I know our beginning was unconventional, but you have to understand, everything I have done for what? For revenge? Power? For you. It's always been you. How can I believe that? After everything, Taehyung knelt before her, taking her hands in his. Because I love you. I have loved you since the day I laid my eyes on you. I have been fighting for us ever since. Remember the first time we met? The annual charity gala was in full swing. The ballroom aglow with glittering lights and the murmur of the city's alight. Vian, draped in a simple yet elegant gown, found herself at the balcony, away from the prying eyes and the superficial chatter. She preferred the stars over the artificial insight. Taehyung, escaping the weight of his reputation, stepped out to the same balcony under the guise of anonymity. He welcomed the change to be just another face in the crowd. He noticed Vian, her gaze fixed on the night sky. It's a beautiful night, isn't it? It is. The stars are particularly bright. It's as if they are trying to tell us something. And what do you think they are saying? That there's more to life than these great events? That out there's a whole universe waiting to be understood? Taehyung was taken aback by her sudden insight. Her words resonated with a part of him that yearned for something beyond his current world. You are not like others here, are you? I could say the same about you. You speak like someone who's seen more than your fair share of complexity. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, touching on topics from philosophy to the intricacies of power of dynamics. Taehyung found himself captivated by her intellect and the way she expressed her thoughts with such a clarity. You have a keen mind. It's refreshing to meet someone who isn't swayed by the glitter of these events. Thank you. I believe it's important to seek depth. Surface level allure fades, but knowledge and understanding endure. As the night progressed, they remained in their scheduled corner, the world around them fading into a distant hum. But as the clock struck midnight, Vine glanced at her watch, a look of urgency crossing her face. I must go. Thank you for the conversation. It's been enlightening. Before Taehyung could react, she slipped away from the crowd, leaving him with a lingering sense of connection and the regret of not asking for her number. It was a moment etched in his memory, the night he got attracted to a woman whose name he didn't even knew. I was so attracted to you that I searched your name, your number. I even watched the TEDx speeches you have given about vet. Damn, all my friends were teasing me how this mafia is in love with a veterinary who doesn't even know his name. The time when I approached you, I didn't approach you because you were Mr. Lee's daughter. No, I approached you because I like you. I wanted to talk to you more. That's why I approached you during your hospital hours. Then fortunately you were attracted to me too. Then what about this sudden marriage, revenge thing? It's just a peer pressure from my people due to your stepdad's scandal with our money, reputation. It wasn't anything related to you. Trust me, Vine, I never wanted to marry you like that. But it's just happened. The situation was so tangled up, I couldn't figure out what to do. If I have the ability to turn back the time, then I would have definitely changed the way we got married. I never liked the idea of you becoming my wife because of your stepfather's death. I always wanted to marry you in the typical way. Me proposing you saying yes because of the conversation we had, the attachment we shared, the love we felt. I really don't know if you can tell it by my actions after our marriage or not, but I really do love you, Vine. A kind of love where I always want you to feel happiness, fulfillment. But fate seemed to have another plan. I am taking your happiness away from you instead of making you feel how important you are to me, how cherished you are to me, how wanted you are to me. I am making you feel nothing but a bait and a revenge. These responsibilities of being a head of a mafia clan seem to be choking the lover in me. I'm really sorry, my love. I'm very sorry for making you feel you were insignificant. Hope in future my actions would make you understand my love for you. Saying this, he left from there, leaving Vine tormented. As the rain continued to whisper against the glass, Vine felt the first stirring of a dangerous hope. Perhaps their story was not one of revenge but one of redemption, of love found in the most unexpected of places. And as she looked into Taehyung's eyes, she knew that this was the beginning of a new chapter, one where love might just conquer all. Vine's minds were a battlefield, her thoughts warring against each other with the ferocity of a storm. Taehyung's confession had pierced through the armor she had meticulously forged around her heart, leaving her exposed and uncertain. She felt as if she was standing on the edge of a cliff, the ground crumbling beneath her feet, threatening to swallow her whole into the abyss of unknown. Doubt clawed at her, a relentless beast that whispered insidious thoughts. How could she trust the words of a man whose life was built on a deception and power? Was this another stratagem, a ploy to keep her inserted in his world? Her mind replayed every moment, every glance, every touch, searching for the truth hidden beneath layers of mystery. Yet, amidst the cacophony of her skepticism, a single thread of hope wound its way through the darkness. It was the memory of his smile, not the cold, calculated one he wore like a shield, but the rare, genuine one that reached his eyes and warmed the cold chambers of her heart. It was the way he said her name, not as a claim, but as a plea, a call for understanding. Fear gripped her, a familiar companion in the treacherous landscape of her life. To believe Taehyung was to open herself to a vulnerability she couldn't afford. It was to acknowledge that her heart might have already betrayed her, allying itself with the very person she had vowed to guard against. But beneath the fear, a spark of courage flickered to life. It urged her to consider the possibility of a love that was as fierce and unyielding as the life they led. It beckoned her to listen not just to the words spoken, but to the silent language of actions that had time and again proved her safety and well-being were Taehyung's priority. Violin was torn between the comfort of her suspicious and the terrifying allure of trust. To accept his love was to step into uncharted territory, to risk everything on the roll of dice. Yet, to reject it was to deny herself the chance to experience a love that could transcend the darkness of their world. As she stood there, caught in the tumult of emotions, Violin realized that the struggle was not to deciphering Taehyung's intentions, but in allowing herself the vulnerability to love and be loved in return. It was a battle only she could fight, a decision only she could make. And in that moment of profound introspection, Violin understood that no matter the outcome, the journey ahead would forever change the course of her life. Violin's mind drifted to a moment that had lingered in her mind, a fragment of time that now seemed to challenge the fortress of doubts she had built. Some days later, Taehyung sat on his bed after an exhausting day. He was about to turn off the lights that when Violin entered his room, his breath caught seeing her coming towards her. Taehyung. Violin's voice was a whisper, yet it carried the weight of her newfound resolve. Taehyung's eyes, always so full of unreadable thoughts, now shone with an unspoken promise. He stepped closer, his hand cradling her face with a gentleness that veiled his strength. Violin, you have always been more to me than a wife in name. You are the heart of my life, the calm in my storm, and if you will have me, truly have me, I vow to be the husband you deserve. The vulnerability in his voice was the key that unlocked the final door to Violin's heart. She nodded, her eyes glistening with the reflection of their shared future. Yes, Taehyung, I want that. I want us. A smile, pure and unstrained, broke across Taehyung's face, a smile that spoke of dreams and hopes coming to fruition. Then let's start our journey anew with a symbol of our love. Violin, will you give me the honor of being the father of a child? The question hung in the air, delicate and profound. Violin's heart swelled with a joy she had never known, a joy that sprang from the depths of her soul. Yes, Taehyung, let's create a life together, a testament to our togetherness, our love. And in that moment, as the first drop of rain began to fall again, washing away the remnants of their past fears, Violin and Taehyung stepped into a future where love regained supreme, where they were partners in every sense, bound by a love that had weathered the storm. A love that would blossom into a new life, a beacon of their undying affection and the unity. As the promise of their new beginning settled in the air, Taehyung's eyes searched Vine's, finding the reflection of their shared joy. With a tenderness that spoke volumes, he leaned in, closing the distance between them. His lips met hers in a kiss that was celebration of their love, a seal of the vows they had just exchanged. The kiss was soft yet profound, a mingling of souls that whispered to the hardship they had overcome and the future they were to build together. It was a kiss that held the sweetness of new beginnings and the depth of unwavering commitment. In that moment, as their lips parted and they looked into each other's eyes, they knew that they had stepped into a life where every challenge would be faced hand in hand and every victory would be sweeter for their companionship. The kiss had not only marked their celebration but also the start of a journey filled with love, trust, and the unity of two hearts beating as one. Few months later, the golden hues of dark painted the sky as Violin turned the key in the lock of the home she shared with Taehyung. She stepped inside, her heart fluttering with a secret that was about to change their lives forever. The house was silent, the usual cacophony of Taehyung's presence was absent. She found him in the study, his figure hollowed by the soft light of the desk lamp, as he walked tirelessly unaware of her early return. Taehyung, she called him softly, her voice laced with a melancholy of anticipation. He looked up, his expression shifting from concentration to surprise and then unadulterated joy at the sight of her. Violin, you are home early, he remarked, standing to greet her, the remains of his mafia world persona fading in the comfort of their sanctuary. Violin's smile was a beacon in the dim room, her eyes sparkling with the news that danced on the tip of her tongue. I have a surprise for you, she said, her hands instinctively resting on her abdomen. Taehyung's eyes followed the movement, a flicker of understanding initiating his gaze. A surprise, he echoed, a hopeful note trading through his words. She nodded, the moment stretching between them, charged with the electricity of unspoken dreams. We are going to be parents, Taehyung. I am pregnant. She revealed the words, a gentle explosion that filled the room with 1,000 of unspoken promises. The impact of her words were immediate. Taehyung closed the distance in a heartbeat, his arms engulfing her in embrace. His kiss landed on her forehead, a silent vow of devotion and a shared joy that transcended the life they had known. As they stood there, wrapped in each other's arms, the world outside faded away, leaving only the truth of their love and the new life they were about to welcome. I am so happy, my love, we are going to be parents. The words sounded sweet to his mouth as his heart danced in joy. It was a moment of pure happiness, a testament to their journey from the shadows into the light, a celebration of the life they had created together, a life that was about to grow by one.